What up, y'all? Yo, check it. Again, I'm not good at doing this, so I don't look at the fucking camera. I don't try to have long-winded conversations. Um, but today I was really inspired, man, and I wanted to come and actually just capture this, if not for any other reason, but for myself, but to kind of put things into perspective. Familia can be the one thing that can make you or fucking break you, man. And people often ask me, like, why is it that you don't speak to your family, man? Why is it that, you've come back to Las Cruces and you've talked and said, hey, man, your ancestors, while you were working at the Thanatham Nation, they spoke to you every morning you drove, and when you applied for the job that you did and you decided to come back home, you said, hey, it was your grandparents, your ancestors that spoke to you. But why haven't you reconnected with your familia? And so, just to make it very clear, I stopped speaking to my family, I want to say around the time my grandfather passed away, around 2010, 2011. And I had made a decision at that point in my life because I found myself constantly going back and forth, and trying to be the type of son that was getting some sense of validation or recognition. And it seemed like my familia, for whatever reason, they just wanted to recall and remember the old person that I used to be. And again, I go back to, 25 years of sobriety. And for me, that's a great testament to what I've been able to maintain in regards to staying on top of my shit. But honestly, the fact is I made a decision back about almost 15 years ago that I could love my familia. God, I love every single one of them. But I made a decision that I had come to a realization that I couldn't be part of their life. I was not ever going to be a part or welcomed in their life. And I say this because for many, many, many years, I've always told people this. I've talked about, how, I was always seen as the scapegoat. I was always treated as if I was basically always second place. And regardless, I mean, for me, if my familia, my parents decided to, treat their children different, then that's on them. And again, for me, it only made me who I am today. And I'm very proud of who I've become as a man, as a father, as a human being. I've evolved. And it doesn't hurt. But then I have moments in which my employees touch me. And I connected with one of those employees, and she is doing remarkable, and she's fighting through recovery, and she's trying her hardest, and lo and behold, she hit a roadblock. And in speaking with her and reconnecting with her, we spoke about family, we spoke about familia, and she loves her familia with all her heart. And she's come to a crossroads. And that crossroads is something that she needs to define for herself. And this is why I felt compelled to come on here, because it's not easy to maintain sobriety, y'all. It ain't easy to stay clean. But it's even harder when you don't have the support that you need to maintain sobriety. when you don't get that love, that validation, that affection, it can drive you to complete insanity. I know, because for me, I hid my addiction from my familia. As a matter of fact, I recently wrote a letter to my parents because, God forbid, I'm going to be 50 years old. En nombre del Padre, Hijo, Espíritu Santo. And my parents are well within their age. I believe that my parents are going to be about 72 years old, 71, 72 years old, if not already that age. But I don't want them to leave this earth thinking that I ended up like a piece of shit, or that I didn't make anything of myself. I want to make sure they know that despite the ups and downs, I made it. I did it. And I'm cool with all elements of success that come my way, because I know I've earned it. I fought my way through it. But the hardest part was as not having that support, not having that familia, not having that lifeline. And I see this young lady who works for me, and she wants it bad. And she wants this career bad. And I remember seeing myself 33 years ago when I started working in this field that I fell in love with. This is my love. This is my passion. This has become my new addiction. And my new addiction is helping individuals to find their way to heal. I don't want to call it sobriety. I don't want to call it recovery, because what we do at our facility is we are touching on things that we want our patients to regard with the highest of respect, because we have to know things beyond cognitive behavioral therapies that address triggers and cravings. There's an underlying thing that comes from our addiction, and that is realizing that we're no different than a person who suffers with a personality disorder. And I say that with respect because I've worked with individuals with personality disorders, and they are my favorite. I love working with individuals that are diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder, because these individuals are stigmatized and given these diagnoses, but people don't realize that it has been their trauma that has caused their very existence in how they've learned to approach life. So what one deems a temper tantrum, or what one deems as being an ailment, what I've learned to see is that has become their survival mechanism, their ability to get through things in life. Now, granted, it can be negative, but what we need to do is we need to address, especially nuestra gente that are struggling through their sobriety, is behavior modification, helping them to reach a state of mindfulness and be able to then make the necessary changes they need to make, so that they recognize not only the cravings and the triggers, but they have this presence of mind to then change that behavior like that. And when you learn to modify and change that behavior, you now take cravings, you now take these elements of triggers, and you apply action to them. And this is what we do at our center. It's a difficult job. You know, everybody seems to want to do the same. This is the cravings and the triggers, but it's a deeper thing that we need to attach ourselves to. And this is why, in speaking with this young lady, as she continues to struggle with her cravings and her triggers, and working with her and now having her under our arms, our wings, so to speak. And my leadership team, they are awesome, y'all. Like, I have to say, man, mad respect to, the recovery center that I work for, and my team, from admissions to utilization review to my clinical director and compliance, HR team, business manager. I mean, I'm telling y'all, I got a badass team. And the reason they are so badass is because they see my vision. They see the mission before us, and they're all in line with it. And the beautiful part is the employees that we are recruiting, we find that they find their passion within that. So I have this young lady who's at a crossroads in her life, and she's now come to the realization that familia can be toxic. And at some point, you have to make a decision when you're addressing behavior modification to take the steps that you need to protect yourself, to protect your mind, your body, and your spirit. Because without realizing it, I don't think familia, especially when they see you as something so negative for so long, I don't think they stop to realize their destructive nature. And it's all good. It's all good. It's all love at the end of the day. But in order for someone to escape the clutches, to escape what holds us back, we have to then make the necessary choices to then block them so that we can continue manifesting the life that we know we deserve. My prayers are with this young lady, and I hope in hearing this, y'all would also extend your prayers to her. She needs to know that people do give a shit, that people do give a fuck, because we do. We, as a humanity, have been created by Creator for the essence of everything love. Creator embodies everything that we are in the elements of hope, integrity, faith, and all the principles that we learn either through the 12 steps or even through Wellbriety. But even the Bible says the greatest of these is love. What's going to bring our people that continue to fall victim to addiction? It's got to be love, man. And sometimes we have to let go of those things that keep us from it so that we can achieve it. Thank you for giving me this time to chat again, y'all. Again, I don't do this. This isn't my style. That's why I don't even look at the camera. It's difficult for me to look at the camera and be, serious. Because normally I think everybody that knows me, I'm a jokester. I like to have fun, and I like to make people laugh and bring joy to people. But every now and then I have, and I think I've come to a point in my life where I want to capture these snapshots of profound moments that are slowly coming to me as I continue through my evolution. And I want to share that with all of humanity. I want to share that with you guys. And more than anything, it's not for ego, because for me, that, like I said, this is difficult. If it was ego, trust me, I've worked with and have been with so many individuals who like to do this. And for me, it's, for them, it's an escape. And mad respect that, that this is what they do. But for me, I think I'm going to take a different journey. And I think that this is what I'm going to start doing, is capturing these profound moments in life and reflect on them. And hopefully in processing them with you, those of you guys that are listening, maybe we can continue finding a place of healing. I hope that it inspires you guys to find your place of healing. Because I continue walking through mine. I continue working through mine. And more than anything, I find myself more in love with life as I get older. So y'all, with that said, thank you for your time. I know it was long-winded. 16 minutes is pretty much long-winded. But yeah, thank you for listening. Deuces.